What's up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about ONDO Finance. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts. I'll be covering the recent news here for ONDO, and I'll be talking about my price prediction for ONDO over the coming weeks. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all here. So we're going to be diving straight into this video, and actually the first thing I want to cover with you guys is this upcoming Trump tariff meeting that's happening later today. The specific time for that is given as 8 p.m. UTC. Now that's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And basically, we're going to hear exactly what tariffs Trump is going to be placing to the rest of the world. Now, of course, he's called it Liberation Day, but the real name, the official name for this is the Reciprocal Tariff Plan Announcement. And I just want to reiterate the first word of it's reciprocal. And basically, there's some sort of misconception from some people that these tariffs were just made out of thin air by Trump, that he's going insane. But actually, the tariffs that he's going to be announcing are just basically the same tariffs that other countries have put onto the USA. We can see that from Grok, we've got this huge list of all the countries that have placed tariffs on the USA, and some of them, and the majority of them, range between 10% to 25%. Most recently, we've seen extra tariffs added from the European Union that started just yesterday to the USA. And just relating this back to the markets, I think that we are going to see a pump coming from this. At the very moment in time, of course, we are starting to see a little bit of a rise in the markets. Of course, we've heard the word tariff so many times from Trump. Basically, from about mid-February, as soon as he started mentioning tariffs, people were selling their stocks. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of geopolitical risk involved. And it kind of makes sense, there's people want to de-risk and everything. And so we saw this really big negative momentum as people were selling the tariff news. So basically what we saw here was a lower low on the S&P. But if you have a look at the MACD and the RSI, you can see that even though there was a lower low indicated by this downwards facing trend line, the trend line on these two are actually facing up. So we have a huge bullish divergence. And so with this divergence, we expect to see a trend reversal stem from that. That means that we could see prices do this, for example. So it's definitely not a bad look leading into this tariff announcement. Of course, what do I personally think is going to happen with this announcement? Well, I think if Trump announces these tariffs basically as intended, so retaliation to these countries that are tariffing the USA, then I actually think that would be bullish, because like I say, I already think that this tariff news is already priced into the charts here. It's not news to anyone really. We've heard tariffs now for the past few months, and we can really see that the selling pressure is dissipating with this divergence here. So this is another case for a recovery in the markets. And so after this announcement, we get this uncertainty removed from the market. Of course, that's probably why we've seen a little bit of a sell-off over the past few days. People are just de-risking before we had this news come out. But now this uncertainty is removed, it should allow the prices to go higher. Of course, if Trump does announce lighter tariffs than what people are expecting, we could see an even bigger pump. And I'm really doubtful that Trump will announce anything extremely harsh in this meeting. So I am expecting more of a pump than a dump given this news coming up. Now for ONDO, we are starting to see a bounce leading into this news. Now, of course, maybe one of the reasons why we are seeing the bounce is that we have been nominated to be listed here on Binance. Of course, we need to go ahead and vote in order for this to actually happen. But basically, ONDO is on the list of coins to be listed on Binance for spot listing, not futures, spot listing. So, of course, your vote in this completely matters. If you are watching this video, what you need to do is go on this link. I will put this in the description down below as well, so you can easily vote for ONDO here on Binance. Once you are on their website, you need to make sure that you log in, and you need to be holding at least some BNB in your account. I believe the amount is 0.01, so that's about $6 worth of BNB that you need to hold in your account in order to vote for ONDO to be listed. But basically this lasts a whole week, so the deadline for this is on the 9th of April. Of course, make sure you go ahead and vote for ONDO on this. There's a whole list of them down here as well. As you can see, ONDO is this one here. And of course, I don't know if they're picking a limited amount or just whatever gets enough votes. But ONDO Finance has the largest market cap of all these cryptos that are listed here, I believe. So it shouldn't be difficult to win this. Of course, I know ONDO has a large community as well. So I am hopeful we are going to be able to get enough votes to be listed here on Binance. Of course, if you do care about ONDO, make sure you click in the link in the description down below to vote for ONDO to be listed here on Binance. So having talked about that, we're now going to head over to the price charts here of ONDO, and we're going to just discuss what we are seeing here on the charts and what to look out for. So of course, we are seeing this really nice pump leading up to this announcement. I am bullish for the fact that it's going to pump after this meeting has occurred as well. That's happening in about 4 hours from recording this video right now. And what I'm particularly watching out for is this particular development here on ONDO, because as I said, we've been in this downtrend now on ONDO for the past few months. It's been a bit brutal for holders if you bought anywhere in 2025, but I do think we are going to see a new bullish trend emerge sooner rather than later. Of course, you've seen this resistance going down here, basically keeping ONDO in this shorter term bearish trend here, but we've also got this long-term bullish support on the ONDO price that's been basically, since its inception, keeping ONDO Finance in this long-term bullish trend. Now, of course, we've got these two powerful trend lines that have been tested on lots of different occasions. When I say test, that means the price has come down to basically touch the trend line and then bounce off it. We see that on both trend lines on a lot of different occasions. I'm just going to circle two there just to show you what I mean. And basically, we have this confluence of these two trend lines, and at some point we are going to see one of them break. Is it going to break to the upside, or are we going to break to the downside? And I personally think a break to the upside is more likely. So if we see something like this, where the price clears this upper trend line with a lot of trading volume and large green candles, we could potentially see the prices rise much higher. The first price target I would be looking at in the shorter term here from ONDO is a result of this sort of falling wedge structure that we have seen here on the price. This would give us an immediate price target here on ONDO of this distance here. Of course, if we see a breakout, let's just say tomorrow, we would be expecting this 96% trade where ONDO's price goes to this $1.72 region. Of course, maybe it doesn't get there in one go like this, but we see something a little bit more staged like this, for example, where the prices take it on level by level before we get there. Now, of course, something like this tariff announcement could really be the trigger for that breakout to this upside, particularly if there is some good news from it. But in any which case, I'm closely paying attention to see what is happening here with ONDO on the shorter term timeframes, because if we do see that clear breakout, then we could be seeing this massive trade to $1.72. Of course, if you are looking for a great place to trade ONDO Finance, then look no further than the MEX exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading because they have some of the lowest trading fees that don't require KYC to get started, and for a limited time only, if you sign up using the link in the description down below, they'll give you a free $20 just for signing up. So if you want to make use of that offer, click in the link in the description down below and sign up. It takes less than 30 seconds to do so. Deposit some fiat or crypto into your account, and then they'll give you that bonus straight away. Of course, they have spot trading and also futures trading for ONDO, where you can trade it with up to 100 times leverage. So if you want to give it a shot, again, link in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for all your support. So this is the shorter term optimistic picture here on ONDO. Of course, longer term, what I am looking for in this chart is something a little bit like this. So if I draw this upper trend line here on the charts, and let me just get those fib levels in as well. Basically, what I am looking for here is something like this. Of course, we know these fib levels are very well respected here on ONDO. That's why I've drawn them up right now. You can see, again, just like the trend lines I showed you earlier, we've got all these fib levels respected we can see that the price respects these fib levels quite nicely. For example, this 0.236 fib here, we had that as a resistance in the price before it got flipped and then tested as a support. Most recently, we've come up to test it as a resistance here. So we know this is a strong level. Basically, what my 2025 target is, just based on this chart here, is the price heading to somewhere between this 1.414 fib and this 1.618 fib. And what I think will happen is something possibly like this. If we see that short-term price target hit at $1.73, maybe we see a bit of a cool off like this, for example, before that next leg up. And at some point in 2025, my guess is going to be Q3 or Q4 of 2025, I think we are going to see that price top out around the $3 region. Of course, that lines up with this longer term trend line as well as this 1.618 fib. Now, of course, ONDO at $3 is equivalent to just under $10 billion in market cap. We look at ONDO on a more fundamental perspective. I do think what they are cooking up right now could take ONDO even higher. I personally think from a fundamental perspective, we could be seeing ONDO closer to the $10 price region. That is my 2025 target when I look at ONDO and the narrative that it has. Of course, they are pioneering the real world asset space right now. With their line of products, they have a massive addressable market and they've only just scratched the surface of that at the moment. So greed and extreme greed return here to crypto. I do think that ONDO has a chance of heading towards the $10 price, and that would be my 2025 target. In fact, I will probably just sell a little bit below this region because $10 would be like 100k Bitcoin. There would be a lot of selling pressure at this level. So this, in my opinion, is a great longer term target to have here on ONDO. Of course, just looking at the charts, like I say, if we just take the price data that we have at the moment, of course, ONDO is a young chain, so we don't have that much. We are looking at potentially this level here at $3-ish. So those are my thoughts here on ONDO right now, and that's pretty much what I wanted to say in this video. Of course, if you do care about ONDO, make sure you vote for ONDO to be listed on Binance using the link in the description down below. Of course, let me know in the comments as well if you are holding any ONDO and what your personal price targets are for 2025. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video.